Hello, class. So today I want to focus on the rehabilitation part of prison. Just to kind of put things in perspective, the U.S. has the highest incarceration rate in the world. The cost of housing a prisoner does not add to the outcomes that one would hope for when somebody is released from prison. Our hope is that the punishment would fit the crime and that the experience itself of being locked up in prison would be so terrible and so horrific that one would never want to offend again. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. I looked at some cited sources, and according to TRT World, over the past 30 years, prisons have expanded in the U.S. by over 400%. Currently, we have 1.2 million are locked up in federal prisons, 636,000 in local jails. That is 1,836,000 people that are currently locked up in the United States. Hold on, let me say that again. 1,836,000 people that are currently locked up right now in the United States. We have 1,800 prisons, 3,000 jails, and that's not counting the little over 1,300 juvenile facilities that we have in the United States. Here's the alarming rates. 68% of prisoners that are released from prison reoffend within the first 3 years of their release, and 77% within the first 5 years. Is the problem too large for us to address? Have years and years of political tough-on-crime campaigns made the problem so deep that we'll never be able to reverse the punishment versus rehabilitation rates? We need to find a change. The courts and judges need to sentence differently. We could learn from our international friends that rehabilitation is possible if we're willing to try something new and something different. The problem is, citizens and politicians in the U.S. don't want to spend money on prisoner reform. Can rehabilitation work? Because punishment has proven itself not to, time and time again. What is the new approach I'm suggesting? Well, I think that we could start with lower level offenders and try something new to see if something results or something we can produce. It's true that violent crimes, murderers, rapists, not only do they receive a bad rap, but they would probably need a different level of care or a little different level of punishment. They would receive different levels would receive different reform than lower level offenders. Obviously, lower level offenders would be where we would start to try to do something new. How can we beat the system when reoffenders are the biggest struggle? Many of the reoffenders are the reason our jail systems are so broken and so full. How does one overcome the years of structure, being treated like a child, to adjust and maneuver around your neighborhood making new decisions? So just think about that. You spend 15, 20 years in prison having all of the decisions made for you, and you're treated like a child, pretty much told when to go, when to stand, when to sleep, when to eat, when to go to the bathroom. Like, you have to ask permission for everything. And now all of a sudden they're released back into your neighborhood and you're expecting them to make better decisions. Some who are released have families, and some who leave prison get $50 and a set of clothes. And that's it. The odds are stacked against them from day one of their release. So here's my question to you. How do we produce good neighbors? Can we introduce a step-down program, something like a new rehabilitation model, sort of a tiered level structure? That's the idea that I'm coming across with you. From lockup to an open, transitional, regular, lifelike environment to learn new life skills. Imagine a country area or a large farm or even an Alcatraz type environment where prisoners spend 2 years developing skills, farming, trades, butchery, carpentry. Prisoners need independence. Inside, they make about 5 decisions per day. When they get outside, they make about 5 decisions per minute. Just think about how many decisions you made today, and then realize that a prisoner makes not even a fraction of those decisions when they're inside, because they don't have the opportunity to make decisions on their own. If you're going to survive on the outside, you must learn how to take responsibility and live on your own. Prisoners should have the chance to learn music or farming or drywalling. These skills provide a confidence that might allow one the opportunity to succeed. So here's my plan. A 2 years prior to release from prison, a new chance would be provided. A chance to let your guard down. Inside, your life becomes so primitive. We call it caveman style. Outside, in a transitional environment, you can be reintroduced to the normalcy that is missing inside of a lockdown prison. Adopting a liberal way to justice. Now, take a look at this, because they're actually implementing this in many of our international brothers and sisters around the world. And let me take one for example that's utilizing this step-down service. In Norway, they're using this method, and they have only a 16% of reoffending crime, or reoffending prisoners that return back to prison. 16%, and compared to ours, which is at 77% reoffending rate. The reality is that whatever we're doing right now, or whatever we're not doing, is not working. Crime is rising, and so are the costs. So it's time to try something new. This step-down structure, this step-down service could really provide the inmates with the opportunity to see what it's like to be on their own and to work and to get a trade and to discover new opportunities, make decisions for themselves in an environment that allows the society to feel safe, but also for the prisoners to let their guard down and feel safe as well. So I just thought that was really interesting, and I thought it would be a new way to address the problems that are still existing here in the United States and that are not getting any better. Actually, they appear to be getting a lot worse. Thank you.